In a quiet village surrounded by green fields and narrow dusty paths, there lived a girl named Feeza. She was known for her simplicity and kindness. Her soft smile and gentle nature made her different from others. Feeza didn't speak much, but her eyes carried emotions that words could never express. Her life was simple, helping her mother at home, studying, and dreaming silently about a future she never fully understood. In the same village lived a boy named Oman. He was hardworking and respectful, the kind of person everyone trusted. Oman had a calm personality, but inside, he carried a heart full of depth and sincerity. Their worlds were separate, until one day, fate quietly brought them together. It was an ordinary afternoon. The sun was setting, and the golden light spread across the village streets. Feeza was walking home, holding her books close to her chest. Suddenly, one of her books slipped and fell to the ground. Before she could bend down, someone picked it up. "It's yours," a soft voice said. Feeza looked up and saw Oman for the first time. There was something different about him, something calm and comforting. "Thank you," she replied shyly, lowering her gaze. That brief moment lasted only seconds, but it left a mark on both their hearts. After that day, they began to notice each other more often. At first, it was just a glance, then a smile, then a simple greeting. "Assalamu alaikum," Oman would say softly. "Wa alaikum assalam," Feeza would reply, her voice barely above a whisper. Days turned into weeks, and those small interactions slowly turned into conversations. They would talk about simple things, studies, daily life, dreams. But beneath those simple words, something deeper was growing. Without realizing it, they had fallen in love. It was pure, innocent, and quiet, like a secret only their hearts knew. But their love came with fear. Both Feeza and Oman belonged to families that valued tradition above all else. Love marriages were considered unacceptable. For them, marriage was not about feelings, it was about family decisions, honor, and social expectations. So Feeza and Oman kept their love hidden. They began meeting secretly. Sometimes under an old tree at the edge of the village, sometimes by the river where the water flowed quietly, as if listening to their unspoken words. Every meeting brought them closer. They shared dreams. "Someday, we will be together, right?" Feeza asked once, her eyes filled with hope. Oman held her hand gently and said, "No matter what happens, I will never leave you." Those words became Feeza's strength. But destiny doesn't always follow promises. One day, everything changed. A relative saw them together. The news spread quickly, and soon, their families found out. What followed was nothing less than a storm. Feeza's father was furious. His voice echoed through the house. "How dare you? This is against our values. You will never see that boy again." Feeza cried, tried to explain, tried to make him understand her feelings, but her words were ignored.
Why is this
Her
happening to
mother,
me?
though softer,
I
remained
can't take
silent
this
under the
anymore.
pressure of society.
Please,
Oman also faced
someone
anger
help
and
me.
disappointment at home. "This is not acceptable," his father said firmly. "Forget her." But forgetting wasn't possible. Love had already taken root in their hearts. Days passed in silence. They were not allowed to meet, not even to speak. But love finds a way. One night, Feeza quietly left her house and went to meet Oman for what she feared might be the last time. Under the same old tree, they stood facing each other. Feeza's eyes were swollen from crying. "Oman, they have fixed my marriage," she said, her voice breaking. Oman felt the ground slip beneath his feet. "When?" he asked, his voice trembling. "Next month." Silence surrounded them. The world felt empty. After a long pause, Oman spoke. "Let's run away. We can start a new life somewhere far, where no one knows us." Feeza closed her eyes, tears rolling down her cheeks. "I can't. I can't leave my parents, she whispered. Those words shattered Oman. He had hoped, just a little, that she would choose him. But he understood her pain. He forced himself to smile. If this is your decision, then I respect it. Feeza cried harder. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. That night, they parted with heavy hearts, knowing it was the end. Soon, the day of Feeza's wedding arrived. The house was filled with lights, music, and guests. Everyone was happy. Everyone, except Feeza. She sat quietly, dressed in a beautiful red bridal outfit. Her hands were decorated with henna, but her heart felt empty. Every moment, she remembered Oman. His voice, his promises, his love. Far away, Oman stood hidden among the crowd. He had come, just to see her one last time. As he watched her, tears filled his eyes. That was the moment he realized, he had truly lost her. When the wedding ended, Feeza left with her husband. And Oman was left behind. Alone. Days turned into weeks. But Oman's life had stopped. He no longer cared about anything. He stopped eating properly, stopped sleeping. His family grew worried, but they couldn't understand his pain. One day, his friend tried to talk to him. Oman, you have to move on. Life doesn't end here. Oman looked at him and gave a faint smile. My life ended the day Feeza became someone else's. That night, Oman sat alone in his room. He opened his diary, the one where he had written all his feelings. With trembling hands,
يجب أن
he wrote
نسجل
his final
أفكاري اليوم.
words. Feeza. I promised I would never
نعم،
leave you
هذا
alone.
أطلب.
Today, I'm still keeping that promise, because my heart cannot live without you. Maybe in another world, we will be together. Tears fell onto the pages. The next morning, the village woke up to devastating news. Oman was no
coming
more.
from the river.
He had
We
taken
must
his own
prepare.
life.
A flood?
The
We
entire
must
village
warn
fell into
the
shock.
others.
I will
People
tell the
whispered,
village.
regretted,
Everyone must
but it
help.
was too late.
Everyone, a flood is
When
coming.
Feeza heard the
Move
news,
to higher
her
ground.
world collapsed.
Feeza, it's bad
No,
news. The
this
deal
can't
collapsed.
be true,
What?
she cried.
How could that
But the
happen?
truth doesn't
I'm so
change.
sorry, it just fell apart.
She broke down completely.
This can't be real.
Her
I need to
cries
sit
echoed
down.
through the walls. She locked herself in her room,
Why
refusing
is
to
this
eat or speak.
happening to me?
Days later, she somehow got hold of
I
Oman's
can't
diary.
deny that.
With trembling hands, she opened it. As she read his last words, her heart shattered into pieces. I'm sorry, Oman. I left you alone, please forgive me, she cried endlessly. From that day on, Feeza was never the same. She lived, but without life. Her smile disappeared. Her eyes lost their shine. Her existence became a quiet punishment.
No, I can't
Every
do
night,
this.
she would look at the sky
I'm
and whisper,
sorry.
why didn't I choose love?
Don't do
But
this
some
to
questions
us.
never have answers. And some regrets never fade. Every day, she made the same prayer. Dear God, never give anyone a love that remains incomplete, because incomplete love doesn't just break hearts, it destroys souls. Love is one of the purest feelings in the world. But when it is crushed by fear, pressure, and society, it turns into lifelong pain. Sometimes, the choices we are forced to make become the deepest wounds we carry forever.